So the Skyview Bobcats go to 2-0 on the season with the victory tonight, 64-49. On the road again. They haven't even played a home game yet, but they're 2-0 on the season. That wins at Weber from the 6A classification, and then the 5A classification tonight. They get the victory over the Spanish Fort Dons. So a terrific ball game. As it was close there, Spanish Fort does create some problems with their speed. They've got some height, and McGuire does shoot some threes, but the Bobcats settled down and took control of the game, as their defense was the key in the fourth quarter, as they outscored Spanish Fort 17-9 in the fourth quarter. That's the only quarter the whole game that Spanish Fort did not score double digits was in that fourth quarter. They only scored 9. And the Bobcats prevail 64-49. Again, we're in the post-game show here as the Skyview Bobcats go to 2-0. Their next game will be the North versus South tournament at Skyview High School. They'll be there Thursday night at 7 p.m. to face the Pineview Panthers on Thursday night. Ridgeline will play at 5:15 against Desert Hills. And then in the second game Friday, Skyview will play Desert Hills at 7. Those games are Thursday and Friday night, so make your way out to Smithfield for the Bobcats. So the Bobcats got going early with Mason Falsleff scoring 12 of his 16 points in the first quarter, as he was on fire to start the game. And it was in that first quarter, and so he got Skyview off to a 22-12 lead. And then Sam Phipps, of course, was in foul trouble. All his points came in the second half. He had two dunks there in the second half. One was a breakaway dunk, and then he had the lob from Falsleff where he got the and one as well that gave him 11 points. So he does hit double digits, but he was saddled with foul trouble all game long and really had to sit on the bench most of the game. So for the Dons, their leading scorer, this was their first game. Remington Newell had a total of 10 points, but all of that in the first half. He went scoreless in the second half. 3 points for Enoch Pendleton. 6 points for Andrew Radford. 2 points for Hunter Sorensen. Their leading scorer was McGuire, had a bunch of threes. He's going to have 18 points. And then they had one other scorer, that's Gabe Oldham, who had, 10 points there. So they had 3 men in double figures. The Bobcats also had 3 people in double figures. 12 points for Bracken Schumann. And we're going to designate him as the Alta Bank player of the game, is Bracken Schumann. Alta Bank, formerly known as Lewiston State Bank, is the sponsor of our player of the game. The name is different, but their commitment to service and your success is the same. Alta Bank will give Bracken Schumann the player of the game, as he had some fantastic post moves. He just gets down on the block there on the right side and just does a tremendous job sealing his defender off, making the layups. He had numerous block shots and a bunch of rebounds. So we'll give Bracken Schumann the Alta Bank player of the game. 11 points, as we mentioned, for Phipps. All 11 came in the second half. He had 8 points in the fourth quarter. 9 points for Hayden Howell on 3 3-point shots. 16 for Falsleff. 1 for Tyler Oxborough. As we're going to be joined here by Coach Hilliard. We'll give the mic over here to Coach first of all, or Caden. Do you want to do Caden? Okay, so, okay, yeah. Okay, Caden, here, go ahead, just take the mic. Just hold it close to you. So, Caden, you get the victory tonight. This was a Spanish Fort team that was a quick team, a lot quicker than Weber for sure.
Yeah, for sure. They put a lot of pressure on us. But we were anticipating that, and we were ready to handle it, I think.
Here, I just had the wrong one on.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So you were able to handle the pressure, like we mentioned. They're a lot quicker than Weber. So what was the adjustments at halftime? Because you guys got the big lead at the end of the first quarter, And then the second quarter, it kind of looked like Spanish Fort kind of got you out of your rhythm. I mean, what did you guys talk about at halftime to come out in the second half?
We just we started going through the motions. We got a little careless with the ball. We just had to crack down, make smart plays after halftime, and in the third quarter, we wanted to come out strong and send a message. So that's what we did.
Well, you're only a junior this year. You got a lot of playing time, I felt like, last year as a sophomore. What did you learn from that experience last year, and what have you taken to come into your junior year?
Well, it's always nice to have experience, to have been there before, and I think it gives me a lot more confidence to play the way I know I can, and I love playing with these guys. It's great to have played with these guys before in this group, because we're a great group and we have a lot of fun.
Well, take us through last week. You guys get your first win on Tuesday, and then you were expecting to play Morgan, but they canceled that game. I mean, what was that like? Because you hadn't had many practices before Weber. I mean, what was that like to have to wait another week?
Yeah, we were pretty bummed. We were pretty excited for that game, but gave us an opportunity to get another practice in, and I think it helped us in this game. So. Well,
you finally get to be back home.
Yeah,
You've got 2 games, Thursday and Friday. I mean, how much fun is it to play in front of the home crowd in Smithfield?
Oh, I'm so excited. We have the greatest fans ever, and I love our fans. I can't wait to play in front of them. It's going to be a blast.
Well, Caden, we appreciate you coming up here on the postgame show. We'll let you give a shout out to whoever you would like to with the radio listening. Your mom's
I got my mom right
here.
Yeah, of course. Thanks to my mom and dad. They helped me so much, and I just love my teammates like always, and I just love playing with them, like I said.
All right, well, Caden, we'll see you Thursday night.
Thank you so much.
Okay, congratulations on the victory. All right, so we'll hand it over to Coach Hilliard. And Coach, like I told Caden, this Spanish Fort team, they had a rough season last year. They come back with their Coach Kunzler. We didn't know much about them because this was their first game, but they had a lot more speed than Weber. They really pressed you guys a lot tonight.
Well, they pushed the ball up the floor. They got us in the first half a little bit, beating us up the floor a little bit, and we had made a few adjustments, but they played hard. They played really hard. And Coach and I talked before the game, what a great guy, what a great program, things he's trying to get turned around here and get it headed in the right direction. But they played really, really hard, and usually the ball bounces your way, and they had a couple runs on us tonight where they played harder than we did. And so, we talked to the guys about you got to play hard for 32 minutes. They got to bring it the whole time, and then good things happen. And so, anyway, I was happy. I thought we had some kids come in and do some really good things. I thought Hayden Howell came in and hit a few shots, but Kason Carlson started the second half for us and just made some smart plays, made some good extra passes, and it was a lot of fun to watch the team kind of fight through a little adversity. Sam had 3 fouls, picked up his 4th foul, could have cashed it in, but instead he decided to take the ball to the rim, get to the free throw line a couple times, and make some things happen that way. And so sometimes it's not your night, and you got to do what you can to help your team win, and we did that.
Well, and speaking of helping your team win, you just got to do the things. You mentioned Carlson. I mean, you started him in the second half. The biggest, I thought, for Carlson, his biggest play was taking that charge underneath here in the second half. That was big time.
Game changers. Caden and Kason. I think Kason took 2 tonight. Caden took 1. Those are game changers. When you take a charge, takes the possession away from them, a chance to score, gives us another opportunity to score. But that's a big momentum shift, and happy for those guys, proud of them for stepping in there and wanting to do that for their team.
Well, Coach, the player of the game, I gave it to Bracken Schumann. I liked the way that he really sealed off the defenders tonight, down low. I mean, he's hard to get around, but when he finished around the basket once he got position, I really liked what he did. Talk about Bracken for a little bit.
Well, Bracken, first of all, the fact that he played football helped him confidence-wise a ton, helped his footwork. He played a lot of basketball tonight. He played almost 3/4 of the JV game, and then he played a lot of the varsity game. And so I think he was a little bit tired, but wow, he's improved so much. He's worked so hard to be where he's at right now, and he's an ox down there, man. He rebounds, he cleans up the glass, and he's finishing really well around the basket. He started the JV game off tonight with the drop step dunk, and those are just things that if you work hard, things that happen. And so we got a good group of kids here. They're coming together. They're playing hard, and I'm excited for where we're at. we get a couple practices now. That's going to kind of be fun to get a couple practices before we host a couple games at home. So we're excited for that.
Yeah, and that's the thing I was going to mention now. You actually get a practice, but finally a couple home games. We expected one last week, but the weather had other thoughts.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But that game has actually been rescheduled, just so everybody knows that we'll be playing that one January 6th. That's a Monday.
Okay.
And so we're going to play Morgan January 6th. I'm happy we could get that worked out, so we're excited for that.
Yeah, so good news there. But again, you've got 2 games in 2 nights coming up Thursday and Friday, the North versus South tournament. Yeah. It's a great time to watch basketball if you like high school basketball.
For sure, it'll be a good time. Cache Valley Bank was kind enough to help sponsor that and get us some money to get things rolling there, and so I'm happy for the kids an opportunity to play some teams from down south, and they get to come up here to the cold this year. Last year we went down to the warmth, but it's fun to play those. I mean, Desert Hills and Pineview, both their coaches are great coaches. They do a good job. Pineview won their region, or I guess they were second in the region last year. Desert Hills was strong as well, and so we're happy to have them come to Skyview to play a few games, and should be a lot of fun to, like I say, play at home in front of our home crowd.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to it, and thanks for joining us on the Postgame
You bet.
Show.
Thank you. Thanks for coming all the way down here and doing the radio. I appreciate it. Shout out to the fans who are listening on the radio tonight, and see you guys on Thursday.
All right. Congratulations, Coach. Thanks. So again, the Bobcats victorious 64-49. Our Alta Bank player of the game is Bracken Schumann. He scored 12 points. Again, Schumann with 12, 11 for Phipps, 9 for Hayden Howell, 16 for Falsleth, 1 for Oxborough, 7 for Penrose, 2 for Tragan Shumway, and 6 for Kaysen Carlson. So we appreciate you listening tonight, and we appreciate all the sponsors. Again, join us Thursday and Friday in Smithfield as the Bobcats Thursday night will host the Pineview Panthers. That's Thursday at 7. And if you're there earlier at 5:15, you'll get to see Desert Hills as Desert Hills will face the Ridgeline Riverhawks. So that's the North versus South tournament. So we thank you for listening. And for Diana Young, our producer back in studio, for myself, John Newbold, have a great night, everybody. And we'll talk again Thursday as the Bobcats host the Panthers in the North versus South tournament. Have a great night, everybody.